my name is Tori and I'm a Winnie the Pooh collector from the UK, and I have a cup of tea that's going cold. And today we have got a Vinted unboxing to do. I mean, you can already tell from the title what it is and I'm very excited for it. But before we actually get into like the unboxing and all of that, I thought we'd just run through some things, just talk about some things, like a little bit of a build up. So this all started back in 2023, either like end of 2022, beginning of 2023, somewhere around that period, I think. You all know Pez, the sweet company, and it has the little dispensers in shape of our favourite characters, them. They released some Winnie the Pooh Pez, 3 to be precise. They did Pooh Bear, Tigger and Eel, and these are technically releases. Pez originally did a Winnie the Pooh collection in the 90s. So once they released their new set of just those 3 characters, it then set me off on the mission of needing to complete the set from the 90s. So from my knowledge of talking to the owner of Pooh Corner at Hartfield, I always get into talks about collections and like Pooh history while I'm there. Back in the 90s, when Pez had the Winnie the Pooh collection running, they discontinued a few of the characters because they weren't popular and they weren't selling. So then when they remade them to re-release them, they only did what they thought were the popular characters and obviously their best sellers from that back then. And as you can see, Piglet is missing. I have never seen a Winnie the Pooh release where they do the main gang without Piglet. Apparently, and I have no idea where this statistic comes from, but Piglet is the least popular character and just wasn't selling very well, so they didn't make another Piglet one, and that is absolutely crazy to me. I've never heard that before, but yeah, Pez didn't think Piglet was a good enough selling character, so when they brought back the new designs, they left out Piglet. And in the 90s collection, there was 6 Winnie the Pooh Pez in total. Obviously the 3 that I have already shown you that they re-released, and then obviously there was Piglet, which they discontinued very early, and there was also Roo and Lumpy. And so when I got the new releases of their re-release ones, I then set out on my mission to make sure to collect Piglet, Lumpy and Roo Pez. And I knew it was going to be quite a mission because they were discontinued ones and not remade. They haven't been made since the 90s and obviously they got discontinued. So there's limited quantities of them anyway. I knew it was going to be a hard battle. But soon came along Lumpy and Roo. My parents found these at a car boot sale. They went on holiday in the UK, went to a local car boot sale to where they were staying, and they said there was a stall just with selling all sorts of Pez, like every single character you could absolutely imagine. And this was obviously someone in the collecting world. They knew the value of things, they knew what they were talking about. And my parents still won't tell me how much they paid for these 2, but they said it was a pretty penny. But yeah, I've been searching for them for ages, so I was just so happy. And also the funny thing that I find with this, and it's just like how the universe works. I have the Truffle Shuffle Lumpy exclusive Loungefly. Whenever I share it online, it's like one of the most popular ones in my collection. Everyone always loves it. That launched in the morning. I was on the website for the launch, brought it, and then at lunchtime my mum messaged me saying she got these at the car boot sale. That happened on the same day. Like, and in case you haven't seen the Loungefly, it's a cosplay of Lumpy and then it's got Roo like sticking up out of his head. It was like some foreshadowing. So I managed to get these 2, but then I knew Piglet was going to be the hardest one to complete the set because he got discontinued first back in the 90s. Obviously never remade, wasn't made in the updated collection. Obviously I don't exactly know all the numbers and everything like that, but out of all of them, Piglet was the rarest out of them because he got discontinued before the rest of the characters. But when I am on the hunt for something, I absolutely never give up, especially when I'm trying to complete a set and like I only have 1 to go. Last summer, I think it was like May, June sort of time, I want to say, my mum texted me whilst I was at work saying she just was on eBay scrolling through and Piglet Pez came up, and this was the first time in absolutely ages that Piglet Pez has popped up on a UK secondhand site. During my hunt, I'd found a few Piglets on like US eBay and various US sites, but obviously then you're already paying the price of how much a rare Pez goes for, and then obviously shipping from the US to the UK, any import fees and all of that. It got very out of hand very quickly. My mum saw Piglet on eBay in the UK. The first time we've seen Piglet in the UK, mum didn't even like run it by me, just paid, and she knew I was going to say yes anyway. She texted me saying, yeah, I found this on eBay and I got it. So I managed to complete the 90s Pez set, as well as the re-released versions. So I had all 6 Winnie the Pooh Pez from the 90s and now, and I was happy as a collector. I had completed my set. But as collectors, we know too very well, it's never complete. It's never the end, is it? I had no idea this existed. I thought I'd completed it. You know, I thought I was 6 and done. I thought I was finished. My friend on Instagram sent me a screenshot or something she'd seen on Vinted. She knew I collected the Pez. She knew
Please unlock the device to continue.
She knew that I had thought I'd completed the set, and she also wasn't aware that this existed. So as soon as she saw it, she thought of me and had to send it to me. And I put it in favorites on Vinted, and then went to work, went about my day. And when I came home, the Vinted seller had offered me a new price, and I was like, yeah, I can't pass up on this. I need it. So I purchased it, and then obviously hop over onto Google, do some research. The price that I brought it for is extremely good for the going rate of these. And I have also seen from doing my research there is a Tigger version of these as well, so the hunt starts for that as well. And I did also see, but I'm not too concerned about this because I've only found it on one website, and that was like an American site I'd never heard of, some like candy shop, I don't know. Apparently there's another Pooh Pez like this, but it was in from one of the Disney Junior shows where he's like a superhero. Pooh and Tigger were like superheroes in a cartoon. They did a Pez of that, so Pooh was a superhero. I can only find one thing about that on the internet. If I can re-find it, I'll put it here, but that's a whole separate mission. I thought I had finished the Winnie the Pooh Pez, but now we're just opening up more and more things to find. That's the fun part of a collector, you're never really finished. Anyway, Giant Pez. That's what we're here to talk about today. That's what's in here. I didn't know they existed. Apparently Pez did them for quite a few. Okay, we've gone through the back history of this quite enough. I think let's just get into this because I'm so excited. I like the like parchment paper that they've wrapped this in. They've done this, sellotaped it up really well, but there's just a little tear here, so I'm going to open my way in it. They wrapped a box. It's like it's my birthday. They wrapped it up. Okay, good job I got my scissors ready anyway. I always like it when you buy things off of Vinted and you see what people send the parcels in. Like whenever I send my Vinted parcels, it's usually in like a Loungefly box or a Funko box or a Disney Store box. This is looks like some sort of tools, some sort of tool website. There's a discount code on there for 10% off. I'm not really the person to kind of buy tools, in case you didn't know. Unless it's like hot glue guns and, you know, crafty things. Oh my god, they really sellotaped this up well. This feels like we're in a game of Pass the Parcels because I can see another box inside. They've packaged it with some IKEA packaging. Okay, always the fun part about going to IKEA is trying to pronounce the Swedish words. How would you pronounce that? A Beckvam? Beckvam? Looks like some sort of shelf. The thing is with Vinted, every seller is different. Every box is a roller coaster. So first we've got the IKEA boxes for some extra packaging. Instead of like newspaper or stuff like that, you know, to fill out the box, we've got scrunched up wallpaper. Literally so much just scrunched up wallpaper. I mean, whatever keeps it safe. Onto the main event. We're past the IKEA boxes, we're past the wallpaper, we're in. Oh, I'm so excited about this. All jokes aside about IKEA and wallpaper, this is very well packaged and it's literally wrapped up in a few layers of bubble wrap as well, so I appreciate the good protectiveness of this. It's just a battle to get into it. I don't know where I'm going to display it because it's not going to fit on my shelves. Stop it, this is so cool. Introducing the 12-inch Winnie the Pooh Pez. Okay, let's just have a size comparison. So this, I believe, is 12 inches. I think that's what it said. On their Vinted listing, it didn't actually have a size. It just said Giant Pez. So I had to Google them and all of Google was saying they're 12 inches. So compared to, let me get to the basis of the same. There you go. A regular Pez with the Giant Pez. I feel an Instagram photo coming up with these. So it obviously wasn't an actual Pez dispenser because I'll just use my Piglet one as an example. Obviously you've got the bit at the bottom that you can push them up with, and obviously the head tilts back for the sweet to pop out because it's got the bit at the back where it pushes the sweets forwards. This you can see at the bottom, it's completely done up and it doesn't have, oh, or maybe it does. Oh yeah, it has got like the little kicky bit to kick the sweet forward, but it hasn't got the bit to push up from the bottom. So now I'm very confused about whether it does. Could you imagine? No, it surely couldn't have actually had sweets. Could you imagine the size sweets in there? It's crazy. Got your little sweetie department, the Pooh head. So when I saw it on Vinted and I favorited it and then I went about my day, the only bit was like holding me back from buying it was, if you can see on his nose, he's got a bit of paint damage, but that is literally the only thing I could find wrong with him. And when I showed the pictures of it to my dad, he was like, we can easily touch that up and fix that up. If that's the only issues, that's not too bad. Yeah, I got him for £9, and since these ones, I've still got the price on the back, these were £3.99 with the sweets and everything. These are a little bit more, but they're collectibles. They weren't more than this guy, I'll tell you that. But so yeah, got him for £9. That wasn't what the seller was listing it at, that's what he offered me when I favorited it and then came back. With things like these that I've never seen before, clearly like quite a rare collectible, there wasn't that many people viewed his. It'd been on Vinted for a couple of days because you see how long things have been listed. It hadn't had many views, it hadn't had many favourites. That always confuses me because I thought that like it would go during the day, but no. And then obviously I hopped onto Google to see what things are going for. Pez had done quite a few different giant ones, and most of the time people are selling them for £20 upwards, so I was very happy to accept £9. So yeah, the mission is now on to find the Tigger one of these. How cool would that be? I think that is the only giant one they have got. I don't think they've done any other characters like the Eeyore one or anything else. I think it was just Tigger and Pooh that got the giant versions. Then there is that superhero Pooh that I need to find out about. I haven't seen much of him around, so need to find that out. But just as I thought my Winnie the Pooh Pez collection was complete, we are on another hunting journey again. Because as I think you can all fully agree, if there is a giant Tigger Pez out there, a giant Tigger Pez I shall need. I'll probably put a video on my shorts tab going through like all the details of the little one and the big one, but everything is like literally spot on. Like you got the Pez logo down the side, everything is just so cool. I do really want to know if these came with giant sweets as well. That would have been crazy. I like to display all my Pez together. So on my shelves I have these ones resting, they're on a few shelves out of shot, but I have these resting at the back of the shelves, obviously on the wall, and then I have these three stood in front of them. So I'm now going to have to rethink my Pez display because obviously a lot of my shelves are different sizes depending on what it is, but the shelf that my Pez currently live on up there is the same as these two shelves. Yeah, that's not gonna work. I do have this shelf and this shelf are both what I call my double shelves because I can stack Funkos too high on them. So, can you see him there? I might have to do some rearranging and have Pez down the bottom here because that shelf is full. There is no changing that shelf. This shelf is a work in progress. I'm still playing about with it to see what I like. I have a little Winnie the Pooh library over here. Got my new Funkos here. Obviously I've still got some more to come. It's a work in progress. I'll play around with it. Okay, but that is kind of a good, I know you can't exactly see him. Let me just tilt the camera down a bit. There you go. Giant Pooh Pez is just under 2 Funkos high. Yeah, it's been a while since we have done a Vinted unboxing together. Usually I don't do it for just like one item. I'd usually save it to show you in like my pre-loved bundle at like the end of the month or whenever I decide to do it. But I just thought, because I thought I'd completed the collection, turns out I hadn't. I just thought we had to sit down and do this together because there's so much to talk about with this. I'm honestly so obsessed. This has made me so happy. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, please do pop that thumbs up button, and if you'd like to see more from moi, do click subscribe down below, and while you're down there, don't forget to ding the notification bell and you might as well. You do down there, and I'll see you guys real soon. Bye!